So,
Yeah.
welcome everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back to our stream for those of you who are coming back. For those of you who aren't back, and this is our first stream, welcome for the first time. Um, today's a very exciting stream. We'll be talking about the last print bed you'll ever need.
Exactly.
Oh, what could that be?
Wonder what we were teasing this whole time.
Yeah, for the last couple weeks. Well, why don't we announce the name? Those of you in our Discord would have actually known because we put up a poll a few months or a few weeks ago. But this stream is the launch of the PolyLock print surface. So we've taken the magic that we've been developing print surfaces for years now, and we're coming out with a new product, and that's the PolyLock. And yeah, on this stream, we'll be comparing PolyLock to some other common print surfaces and talk about what makes it better, and doing live demos as well. So we've got 4 print surfaces here we'll be comparing, and then of course we'll be answering questions. And yeah, like if you have any questions during the stream about the demos or anything about PolyLock, paste them in chat. We're always looking at chat. But yeah, we'll be starting. So maybe to start off with what is PolyLock. So PolyLock is a new print surface we've developed. We're launching tonight, I believe 14 different sizes. So we're trying to cover as many printers as we can. It's a print surface we've developed and formulated to work with pretty much all 3D printing materials, and we'll be going through a bunch of tests that we have on here. It's not the same as the vapor print bed, so we'll go into a bit of detail how they're different. PolyLock has much higher adhesion properties, so it lets you print those engineering materials better. And the whole point of PolyLock as a product is like, with any printer, the first layer is the most critical layer. If it doesn't stick, or if it moves, or if it warps, your entire print is going to fail, no matter how fancy your hot end or extruder.
Yeah.
The first layer is the most important. And because of that, a lot of people have been, for years now, doing workarounds, trying to figure out ways like mixing weird chemical concoctions or finding new print surfaces to dial in first layer adhesion for their specific bed and their specific material. And the purpose of PolyLock is to, it's a single print bed that works with all materials, and you never have to use any sort of tapes or adhesives on it. So we're very excited to be announcing this because I think it will save a lot of headaches for a lot of people. And we'll be talking about those headaches as we compare all the different beds tonight. Yeah. So as with last time, we've got a stream special. So why don't you tell them about the special we've got running now?
Yeah, so we have a 10% off all PolyLock products for today, and it'll be till what, tomorrow, 12 p.m.?
12 p.m.
Yes, and we'll have free shipping to Canada and the U.S.
On orders over 50.
Yes, on orders over 50.
Yeah.
And we also have a referral program that we're coming out with today. I think it's new.
Yes, it's brand new.
And it's basically going to be that you can refer a friend, and they'll get 15% off, and then you'll be able to get $10 in-store credit, but it'll be in coin.
Yeah, you'll get in-store credit. We'll explain more of it later, but just know we're doing a special for the duration of the stream, and then we've also set up a referral program for if you have friends that might want to, share discounts with, basically. Yeah, so let's go through these print surfaces, talk about them, and then the actual PolyLock product will be live at 6 p.m. And then everyone can go rush over and use their limited time discount on that, and we'll also talk about the referral program as well, because that's actually a bonus discount if you refer someone.
Exactly.
So we introduced the product. We didn't introduce ourselves. So why don't you introduce yourself, Leah?
Okay, my name's Leah. I was on the stream, I guess, the last week and last week. And I am one of the new interns for 3DQ, and I've been working here for a month so far. And I'm a mechanical engineering student who's in third year and in the biomedical option. So I'm just kind of learning more about 3D printing while I work here. I have not memorized G code yet, so I'm not on their level yet. I will hopefully be able to by the end of the 4 months.
Yes, probably. It'll
There
rub
you
off on you.
go.
And then, of course, I'm Mateo. I'm one of the co-founders of 3DQ. Um, and yeah, I designed the original vapor bed and now did the formulation for the PolyLock as well. So very exciting to finally be able to share this with everyone. And then behind the camera, we've got Stephen McCulloch. Let's see if the new mics actually pick him up.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
It's good, yeah.
I'm Steven. I've been at 3DQ for over a year now, and I was on last week's stream. And I'm always behind the camera, except for sometimes. Staying hydrated.
We've
So-
got water this time.
There we go.
Cool. Thanks, Stephen. All right, so let's get into the demos. So let me just show you what we're working with here. So I think this is going to be a really cool demo that'll showcase a bunch of the different features. So I'll switch to the dual cam. So basically what we'll be doing is we've taken 4 print surfaces, and on each one of them being PolyLock, and on each one of those, we've printed 8 different materials. And we're going to talk about the challenges and the experience of printing 8 of these materials on each print surface. And we picked some of the most common print surfaces. So we've got glass, we've got PEI, and we've got build tack, which is more generically like a polycarbonate build surface, but it's the stock thing that comes on your ender. Yeah, and we'll just be going through all of that, demoing them, and talking about how it compares to PolyLock. Yeah, and just kind of going through all that. So why don't we get started with our first one, which is glass. So there's 2 very important things to print surface. One is how well do plastics stick to it, and then the other is how easy do plastics come off.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are well aware, like getting plastic to stick is the first challenge, and you can use any sorts of adhesives you like, but there's a reason people don't print directly on super glue, because it will damage your print surface,
Yes.
and then you're talking about like your time buying new print surfaces,
Exactly.
buying consumables like adhesives.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people don't even really think about like taking it off. They're like, let me just try to make it stick with whatever I want. And
Yeah.
then they like are like, oh my God, I can't get it off now. And then they destroy their
Yeah, and there's been a slew of products. So let's start with the picking off test. So this is glass, and we've gotten most of them to stick, but we do have a bit of warping. So you know what each of these materials are, right? Kind of. Okay, Stephen, help me out here.
TPU.
So I'm going to start with the P, printed in
That one.
PVA, right?
Yeah,
PVA.
that one was really not good.
Okay. So how, oh yeah, I can see that even on this tiny footprint, it's warping quite a lot. Printed at,
Show
looks
the
like,
camera.
oh yeah, oh wait, let me transition. Looks like it's printed at almost 100% infill as well. It's just walls. But so this one warped quite a lot. What was your experience printing PVA directly on glass?
Yeah, it really didn't stick very well. It warped almost immediately.
Yeah.
And remained stuck until like after got to halfway, and then just got pushed off.
Just detached completely.
Yeah, it was getting dragged around for a few minutes, and then
Oh, okay. The classic
there's a bunch more spaghetti
If you want
that
it.
you've
we're not showing here.
cleared away. Okay.
Yeah.
So no luck with PVA despite multiple tests. And this is just straight bare glass. Like many people will use PVA glue or glue stick. And we'll talk about like,
Was this the one that Richard tried like 16 times, or was this a different one?
That was a different bed, but
okay.
the glass glass and PVA just never.
So it
worked. We never
wasn't
got a full print.
impossible. Okay.
Yeah, we've tried this print a few times on glass.
Yeah.
So that's a PVA. It comes off easily because it could not even stay for the duration of the print.
Yes.
Yeah, might be worth noting that we cleaned the bed with alcohol
Yeah.
before printing all these.
So no good. You've got to use a glue or some kind of
Mhm.
third-party adhesive for
sure.
that. How about this O?
CPU.
That's TPU.
That's TPU. So TPU is really sticky on glass.
Oh.
Oh my. Okay.
I want
This will be a bit of a.
here.
Okay, not too bad.
It left some stuff on it.
Yeah.
though.
Oh, I see that. Let's show the camera.
Can you get like the glare?
So the TPU actually stuck quite well. TPU is known for being very sticky, but it does leave on glass behind this weird residue.
Yeah.
So that's something you have to take care of and clean. I do know that with some TPUs, it's actually very difficult to get them to stick to glass. So it depends highly on the formulation.
Yeah, that's fair.
This seems to be a really tough one.
Yes.
Okay, next we've got
That one's just completely fallen off.
this one. Is the PCTPE.
Polypropylene. Actually.
Polypropylene.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Again, it's left residue on the glass,
Yeah, but
which
it'll
you have to
stick.
clean off. Yeah, and it looks like it actually warped off right towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. That seems difficult. Like with solid parts, you have the advantage of minimal warping, but I think anything larger than this, if it's already starting to show warping characteristics on such tiny parts,
Yeah.
anything larger, you're gonna have a hard time with. And like polypropylene is a really great material, but as we'll see throughout the rest of the test, it's pretty hard to print with.
Yeah. Hips.
Hips.
I think.
Hips is next. Okay, the hips is stuck on pretty well. Let's see this. Okay.
Very nice.
At least I was able to yank it off. I think No, we're good. We're good.
Just a little bit of stuff stuck.
Yeah, this is actually not too bad. Oh, never mind.
It's kind of
There seems to be
a lot of residue.
yeah, a thin layer. So this would actually normally be probably fine if you're printing hips again over this
You
location.
should show them how stuck it is.
Yeah. But as you'll start to see with a lot of these print surfaces, they'll wear really quickly with time because the plastic will either remain stuck and then like it's either a decision of do I want to take the time of scraping it off or do I just leave it on? And eventually they'll start to wear out. Okay, what do we have next? The L.
The L, I'm not.
This guy is just good old PLA.
Oh.
Standard PLA. PLA on glass, a classic. Always prints very well.
There we go.
Yeah, PLA on glass. That's like glass is like the classic bed material, mostly
Mhm.
used because at the time no one was able to figure out how to get their heaters flat. So glass was a great way of having a big flat surface. And yeah, PLA works really well. I actually do see some warping, and I know when I was printing on glass on my Rostock Max, printing anything larger than 30 centimeter parts, I'd actually have a lot of issues with
Oh, I
with
see.
PLA warping. You basically couldn't drop the part lower than 30% infill.
Mhm.
Otherwise, the corners would start coming up
Yeah.
and causing skip steps. And then I had to like try PVA and painter's tape, and those work to
Yeah.
some extent, but
Fair.
I think as Stephen has an experience where like on glass you were printing something right on glass and you actually had to like tape down the brim as the part was going.
Oh yeah, actually yeah, good. That was a fun one because it was a PVA and PLA combo,
Yeah.
and then the PLA was warping, the PVA was also warping, and I
Oh,
had to use tape all around the brim on
So
the
you,
PVA.
partway through the print you were taping it.
I was taping it, yeah.
So you'd say that's not a very reliable experience for the glass.
No, not too user friendly.
Okay, got it. The O is this one PET G?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
PET G
one
on
might be,
glass is a little bit
a little rough.
notorious. Sometimes if you like strike it, it'll come off. Oh yeah, here we go. That was actually pretty good. I'm surprised by this.
Damn.
That was
Yeah,
not bad at
that
all.
was not too bad.
We tried this before actually on
Yeah.
a previous glass print, and it
We have to
we
use a
could use
razor
a razor
blade.
blade.
Yeah.
I do see there's actually something left over though that I can't scratch off with.
I mean, like all of them have something
Yeah.
left over. It's not that good.
Do you mind bringing a razor and we can see whether we can scrape these off?
Yeah.
The residue?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Cool. Okay. This one is ABS.
Yes.
ABS came off. It is
Yeah.
very warped on the bottom though. You can see the entire print is bowed. And keep in mind, like, yeah, it kind of rocks. Wow. So how many attempts did it take you to get some of these materials dialed in on the glass?
It took, I think, 6 entire sequences of
Of
The
all
whole
8
thing.
materials?
Grab the box of fails.
yeah, we do have a bunch of fails, eh?
We kept
Yeah.
them in boxes just so we could show you
So for
guys.
glass, here, maybe we want to.
So in the attempt of printing the 8, yeah, on glass, I'll switch back to this.
Oh yeah, that's better.
Here are all the failed prints from it.
Lots of spaghetti.
Yeah. So the performance is very inconsistent. Like even when we were doing pull tests earlier, like the PETG sometimes stuck really well, sometimes it did not stick at all. It can be pretty inconsistent. And then finally, we've got this special blend of polycarbonate, which is used for, it's formulated for 3D printing specifically. So it's like a very, very low warp polycarbonate. And you'll see this a lot of times, like you'll get PCs and nylons that are low warp, but at the expense of material properties.
Yeah, of course.
So it'll be weaker than regular nylon. And this one, again, it looks like it was just hanging in there barely because the entire print actually rocks back and forth quite a bit, and is warped.
So this one actually popped off as the bed cooled down.
Nice. Okay.
So yeah,
That's good. Actually, that's pretty convenient for these prints. But again, this is a 100% infill solid part. We had to scale all the parts down basically to get them to stay stuck enough. So I guess moral of the story, if you're using glass with these different materials, you'll have to stick to really small prints. Otherwise, you're going to get warping. Or in some cases, like detachment, and we had the whole bin of parts. Okay, let's switch back. So that was glass. What do we have next?
this is the stock Ender 3 bed. It comes with original Ender 3s.
Very nice.
Cool. Sweet. I see we're missing the PVA already.
Yeah.
Every single one we tried to print was always missing the
So in terms of print surfaces that exist out there, the Ender 3 bed is kind of on the other side of the spectrum, where glass has a very low adhesion sealing, which is good enough for really small parts. It makes parts really easy to remove. Things like these stock beds, like the Ender bed, BuildTac, there are a bunch of other brands out there that are some sort of like polycarbonate blend of plastic. Is what's good about them is they provide really high adhesion, but what we'll see, what's not so good is that they leave residue and permanent damage on the bed. There's a reason that that adhesive sheets come in packs of 10. So it's again, it's like inconsistent performance and a consumable that kind of runs down on your 3D printer. Yeah, let's start with PVA again. Do you want to do it, Leah?
Oh yeah. Well, this one was obviously not
Yeah,
even like
that one came
there.
off partway through.
So we're not surprised by that one. But I mean,
It might even
was-
be good talking about PVA. Like, what do people normally use it for?
Yeah, so PVA is like one of the most common support materials because it dissolves really easily in water. It's the same thing that glue sticks are made out of. And yeah, basically, if you can't print PVA reliably on your surface, there's no hope to dual extrusion. And a failed dual extrusion print is a lot of wasted filament. So so far it's failed on the glass, it's failed on the stock ender kind of polycarbonate blend surface. So again, both of these, unless you're putting glues and tapes on, are not compatible with PVA support printing. All right, let's bang through the rest of these.
Yes.
TPU is very stuck. Okay, I got it. Oh, and I see they actually used a very, very high first layer height. So there's,
It's fully just.
yeah, you did. Oh,
It's just.
oh yeah. So the first layer stayed stuck on the bed. That's pretty
If you're into
interesting.
that kind of thing, I guess
Yeah.
you have that.
I've actually had that happen on this surface with something called PVB. Thanks. Where, yeah, PVB was a different material for that's alcohol soluble, and basically like the entire first layer of a large print just stayed stuck, and it pulled the support or the internal infill out
Oh,
and
of
just
course it
stayed on the
did.
bed. Yeah. Okay, so with TPU, you
That one
gotta,
was really not good.
yeah,
Wow.
scrape it, and you can already see
The
damage
residue.
and residue. Let's get, let's, oh, our webcam is in the dark. Here we go.
There we go.
Okay, the L, polypropylene.
Oh, we got Jeremy and Media Man in the chat now.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Nice to see you.
I don't know if you need to mention Jack and Flipsaw.
They're
but
always in
they're
chat.
here too.
They're always in chat.
And actually,
They still want the shout out though.
Lead paint as well.
Red Paint.
I like
Jack's a fan of PVB. Polypropylene, you guys actually managed to get to stick. I know that this one, it took a lot of dialing in to get it going.
Yeah, this one actually was super sensitive to the fan.
Okay,
So we had so many like melted blob looking things.
right.
And so we had to just crank the fan all the way up, which is a huge difference from ABS tips, polycarbonate. We're not using the fan at all.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool to do after this maybe a large parts comparison as well, because small parts are the easiest parts, and again, this scale is basically what we had to stick to in order to even get any results. So we got hips at the end. Okay, hips I have to scrape off.
Dude, this is actually what the polypropylene looks like without a fan.
Oh yeah, that was a big
Yeah.
L for us.
Oh, it's not in frame. Not so great.
It's a big L.
Yeah.
Didn't even mean to do that.
This hips is really slippery.
I feel like you're gonna have to scrape off the first layer.
Did I give you a hammer?
Yes.
I'm afraid of.
Oh,
Okay.
what?
I
Okay.
think we got it. I got underneath it here.
I see. There we go.
Okay,
That
this will
brim,
be
though.
almost impossible to remove.
You might need to use your nails.
I don't think I want to. I'm afraid I'll break them.
Oh, I've done that.
Anyway, I'm sure people can relate to this. I don't think we even have time. We don't have time to do this. We have to move on to the next one.
Yes.
PLA. PLA works great. And it leaves minimal residue on this. PLA, there's a reason PLA is the standard for 3D printing. I do see, again, the first layer height was kind of really off on this one. PET G.
Oh.
Okay, I got it.
Racing for that one.
Yeah, that one was tricky. I can't imagine how much difficult, like, any larger of a part would have been.
I can't
Like, imagine a flat
yeah.
part.
I feel like this would be also way more difficult for me because I'm definitely weaker, so I just probably give up at that point.
Yeah. ABS. ABS actually sticks quite well to these surfaces. Okay,
There we go.
we got it. We got the residue off.
There we
The first layer got a little bit
go. Did it come off?
messed up.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It did.
Yeah,
It's
we
coming off.
lost the walls on the first layer, I think. Oh yeah. Wow, that's crazy. So the walls of the first layer actually detached when I yanked it off. That is not usually a good sign. That probably means
Yeah.
the adhesion to the bed is better than the adhesion to the other layers. And
Not
then
ideal.
finally, we got this special
Polycarbonate.
Polymaker polycarbonate. Oh, this is polycarbonate on polycarbonate.
Oh, that does not sound nice.
I got it off though.
Yay.
That's why we're printing small parts, not big parts.
That'd be so bad.
You guys could have tortured me with like big flat parts on these other
That'd be
printers.
so
There's
funny.
no way I would have gotten them off of this.
Wow. Yeah, but those prints would have taken so long. I mean, this whole print actually takes over 3 hours.
Yeah, but you have
Very
to watch
expensive.
it because it finishes every 20 minutes to switch out the material. Basically.
Yeah. Okay, and I see it's actually picking up some of the bed with it.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on because
Yeah.
it'll take too long to clean this.
Garbage anyway.
Yeah. I'll toss these ones. So,
Might be good to actually ask like what print beds people are using on their printers.
yeah, what are you guys using right now? Because that print surface is actually very good if you're new to
Yes.
printing because it's also very forgiving if you smash your nozzle into it. But it does mean you'll be replacing it pretty often. Like I
That's
know
fair.
even after a month of use, mine had marks everywhere and the marks were ending up in the other prints and resulting in
Oh, it's gold.
yeah, in weird like inconsistent performance. That's one of the things that you'll notice over time with any print surface, except for glass. And we'll talk about PolyLock too, but with these printing sheets and with PEI, you'll notice over time they tend to wear and then need here, I'll show you the reason we're laughing.
I actually thought that right when I
Yeah.
went
Feed.
down.
Yeah,
I can see it so small and sad.
yeah. But the name of the game is going to be repeated consistent performance, which is something that we've proven out with the vapor beds because we have people printing parts in the exact same spots for months on end, and the beds remain flawless. And that's actually one of the things we've carried over into
PolyLock.
the PolyLock. So PEI is really, I like PEI for most normal printing. The only thing I find somewhat annoying about it is every so often you have to either do a deep scrub with alcohol to restore it or acetone sometimes, or you have to, and Stephen, you said you've sanded your sheet down before to restore it
Yes,
as
multiple
well.
times.
Okay, multiple times. So again, it's like this kind of unreliable, unexpected maintenance that you'll keep running into with some of these consumable print surfaces.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. Like they're consumable, they're meant to be good enough for a while, but over time, if you're actually trying to run serious printing or production and just don't want to have to think about the print surface, you'll start to run into issues after like a period of time.
Yeah, it actually looks like these. So from chat, a lot of people are using a PEI.
PEI, yeah.
So we've got from Robert Gardner, Lead Paint, and Media Man. They're all using PEI.
Yeah. PEI has sort of overtaken glass as a standard. It used to be glass and some sort of combination of glass and adhesives. And then Prusa really made PEI popular because for most standard materials, it's pretty good. And then a lot of people also use adhesives in addition to it. But I've noticed for large parts, when you're printing big prints in any material, but in particular, even like lower end materials like PLA or ABS,
Yeah.
you want to save money on your material cost and
Of
print
course.
low infill, but then you have to make compromises with your print surface. Like, oh, PEI can only stick so much, so I can't go as low infill as I want because then my part is more prone to warping.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We've also got some TEX mentions.
That's the Wham Bam solution, I think. That's their blend of PEI and something secret and special, I guess.
Yeah, another good one actually is from Robert Bergner. He says he scrubs his PEI bed with 90% IPA and then the 3M scrubber.
Oh my
Oh, like the,
Um,
yeah.
It's a super fine scrubber pad, he says. So I think that's between every print, he says.
Between
Wow,
every
that's
print.
a
Okay. I was
lot.
actually going to ask for those of you who are using stuff like PEI and find that you have to either like clean or replace it. I'm curious, how often do you find yourself doing that? Because I know for myself, one of the things, I mean, one one of the driving forces again for PolyLock is I don't want to touch my print surface. That should
Yeah.
be the last thing I'm thinking about. It should be about the part I'm printing and not making compromises in my part to the print surface. And one of the things I found was like with PEI, I was doing like pretty routine maintenance on it every, day or so, maybe like every 5 or 6 prints, just to make sure, because I would start getting warping over time because I don't know, I'm actually not sure what happens with PEI, whether it starts degrading or whether like the surface becomes, you know, blended with existing materials. But let's
That's
just
fair.
quickly do the pick test. So PVA,
Garbage.
no good.
You still have to lift it.
Oh,
Oh no.
so it didn't stick despite the textured PEI.
Actually, Richard's got a fun thing. He tried this, I think, 6 times.
Oh, this was.
Yeah,
This
and
was 6 times.
6 times on this bed, and the PVA never worked.
Never.
I
So
thought
this
it
is
was
why we have.
16 times.
I think in total across all beds it was 16
Oh,
attempts to
okay.
print
I see,
PVA,
I see.
Okay.
and the only one that worked first try, we haven't gotten to
That- That's why we're excited to announce this new product. Okay. TPU. Okay, this one's
Wow.
very. Do you want to try removing
Okay,
it?
I'll try.
Give it a twist. The trick with PEI is twisting it.
Okay. Okay. Oh well.
Okay, we lost our first
Yeah.
our first layer of TPU.
That was my bad.
It's gone again. Yeah. Okay, we'll leave that there. We'll leave that to the
I
side.
guess if you use any of these beds, you need like multiple layers.
Yeah.
You can just rip off
Put
the
an
first one.
extra
Yeah.
first layer or a wrapped maybe.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Polypropylene, nice.
But
It did
what
become. It does like to become incorporated into the surface.
happened?
And the thing with the textured PEI is you can't easily get this out. It's the same
Yeah,
with the
fair.
polycarbonate. Hips. Oh, hips
Oh,
is actually
there
quite
we go.
nice. This popped off. Hips is kind of a lower adhesion material in general. So yeah, it pops off really nice.
Actually,
PEI.
what is HIPS?
High impact polystyrene.
What's it good for?
Milk
You know.
jugs. In injection molding, I milk jugs.
Oh, jugs.
Yeah, I know milk jugs are made out of it. It's used in food stuff, I think.
I guess that's cool.
Yeah, it's another fun fact is it's a very good dissolvable support for
Yes.
ABS.
Oh, that's cool.
There's a special, yeah, ABS sticks to it really well. And then there's that like
Delimonene. It's
delimonene
called. It's like D-limonene.
chemical that
Yeah.
you use to dissolve it. So
Interesting.
if you are doing complex ABS parts, the ability to print hips is really important. PLA on PEI is kind of a classic. I guess bending it did not work.
Kind of
Sticky.
okay-ish, but
It's good.
a bit residue.
Leaves a bit of residue. You'll have to clean that up later. That's fine. PET G. Our PET G, whatever blend this is actually really good because it's not pulling up bits of PEI sheet and glass sheet
Yeah.
with it. What brand is this?
This is MG Chemicals. It's actually really old.
Oh,
brand.
really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. Okay, ABS. I see the ABS part actually became detached partially, and I'll show you on the back side. It actually warped here because it detached partway through the print. So the layers started squishing. But it looks like it stuck decently well. And then the polycarbonate.
Closer to the camera.
Thank you.
There you
Got it off,
Got it.
and it, yeah, damaged the textured surface. And I think we've got little bits of the textured surface
Very nice.
in, you can kind of see those dark spots in there.
Wow.
All right. So we've passed 6 p.m. The PolyLock product has gone live on Shopify just in time for us to show
There
the
we
PolyLock
go.
on stream.
Okay.
Wow, perfect timing. It's almost if this was arranged.
Wow. Okay. Probably move these out a little way, maybe.
So the really cool thing about PolyLock is it's a little bit similar to Vapor in that um, it's got the same, we're calling it, no worries. I'll just let you dump the parts first.
Yes, sorry.
It's also live on the store right now.
Yes, yeah, I mentioned that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Just in case you didn't know, it's live on the
It's still
store
live
right
on the store with a special stream discount that ends Thursday at 12. But yeah, so what is
Probably not the opposite
PolyLock? Okay, just pull it into frame. Here we go. We'll show it off. So it incorporates kind of what we've done in the Vapor surface in that it's got dual state adhesion, which means when the print bed is hot, the adhesion gets really cranked up. It's like with some materials, like ABS, it's actually a factor of 500 times higher adhesion when hot than when cold. And what we've done with the PolyLock, so PolyLock is not for automation. However, it's got the same dual state technology, so you can always expect a very reliable first layer sticking down. And then when it's cool and you're ready to take your parts off, the part removal is extremely easy. So let's see.
You might want to move the camera so we can see it better.
Yeah, let's pull it into frame. Okay. So we've got it sitting on a printer. And the reason for that is that some of the parts are so lightly attached that if we were to move the bed around, they would fall off.
Can I
Cool.
see it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's switch to the webcam. Yes, under so oh yeah, the way the store is structured is if you go into the PolyLock site, you'll see we basically organized it by printer brand. So you'll see each printer brand, and then within that, you can go in and pick the different size beds for printers of that brand. And obviously, if we don't have a brand listed there, but there's a compatible size, you can use those. Okay, so here's the PolyLock bed. Wow, the PVA actually worked this time. That's pretty impressive.
It's honestly the only one that, like, when I was taking the videos for the launch, this was the one that, like, went down perfect the first time.
Mm-hmm.
All the other ones were, like, they look mostly nice, but, like, there would be, like, a tiny bit that I would have to, like, get out of the way, so I'd just restart the print, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, why don't we get started then?
Yeah.
So we got the PVA,
Oh.
very easy removal. We got some skirts on there that we gotta get off as well.
Yeah.
Okay. The O TPU, this one's stuck a little bit better, but oh man, this one is stuck too much.
Oh my god.
Interesting. What temperature did you use for the printing?
So all the prints were actually using the same G code. It's just the temperature we changed for. So I think for TPU we use 80.
Okay, that's too hot.
We actually never went below 80. Because if we went
okay.
below 80, then the other stuff would start popping off. That's
Right.
kind of what happens
I see.
with glass especially.
Yeah, so that is actually something that you'll have to think about because if you do print at a way too hot temperature, parts will be more difficult to remove. Yeah. So with TPU, I would actually recommend 45 degrees C. Yeah, it's probably tube bound. The polypropylene, this was printed at 80 as well, or 110.
This guy, 90.
90? Okay. So we got polypropylene. Hips, again, hips is pretty difficult to remove as well. I think they should have all been printed lower, closer to 60.
I think for hips, when I was actually trying to do it for the video, it was coming off like really like at like 70 degrees. I was
70
printing
C.
at like 110 and then it would come off at like 70.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be posting recommended print temperatures online as well.
I guess that was also a larger piece though. Like,
Yeah.
these are small, so like obviously they're gonna like stick a little more than the ones that were bigger for what I was doing.
PLA removed, no problem. PET G, also
Very
quite easy to remove. ABS looks like it's stuck down. The first layer is a little bit low, but easy to remove. And then polycarbonate. This one again looks like the first layer was a bit low, but still fairly easy to remove. So one thing I would recommend to you guys, which it looks like was not done well in this test, is actually higher first layers, because yeah, if you're printing way too low, it's going to leave these residues, but it's quite easy to just pull them off with your fingernail. Luckily, it's not becoming incorporated into the actual print surface.
Yeah. That's like one thing I really liked about these beds is that like all you have to use is soap and water.
Mm-hmm.
And like I usually wouldn't have like random chemicals at my house, so I like that I'm able to just like use something I actually have on hand.
Yeah. Yeah, there's actually a full, we've kind of been collecting information on the full like range of temperatures. So like with PLA, on these beds, 45, which is quite low, is where you'll have basically the max needed adhesion. And then you can, it kind of pops off right at 30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and basically, if you experience, what's really nice about these is if you experience too high adhesion with certain parts, you just lower the bed temperature in increments of 5,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually you'll find a spot where when it's hot, you still have the high adhesion, but when
Yeah.
it's cold, it will completely release.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, and it looks like we haven't found that quite yet for this particular TPU.
Extra sticky.
This one is extra sticky.
I
Well,
was using the flexible PLA and like it came off normal, so I was surprised.
Oh, so you guys use the same G code for the TPU?
No. I was just like when we were doing the other videos, this is a similar texture, but obviously a different material.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
this is a good lesson for how to use PolyLock. We'll probably next week talk about a specific guide for each of these materials. And yeah, I guess if you're printing 8 materials on a bed,
Yeah.
would recommend varying the bed temperature more, and probably doing a raft in a single material and then 8 materials on
Yeah,
the
that's
same
pretty
bed.
fair. The G code for the having 8 different materials printing on like one bed was really interesting. I think Richard had like a lot of issues that he had to like try to work out between everything, especially because like since they're so close together, when the print would be going for like other ones that were after other certain prints, they'd be like almost touching the nozzle, but like just barely because he had to like measure it out and everything.
Yeah, this is a good question from Media Man. What is the base for the PolyLock? So the base can actually be anything. You can clip it on, unlike the vapor bed, you can just clip it on and use it that way, or you can stick it to a spring steel sheet and flex it to pop parts off. Basically, the larger, that's like recommended for larger parts. You'll still be able to, pull them off normally, but for larger parts, you can stick it onto a spring steel sheet.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing we're offering on the store is the PolyLocks will just come as a print surface, but if you want, there's the option to add adhesive backing to it. So if you select that option when you buy a bed, it will actually will apply a high temperature 368 MP adhesive. That's just like the standard print bed adhesive that you can then use that to put it on like directly to your build plate, which is what we use here, or onto a flex sheet or onto like a magnetic bed. So you could stick vapor onto something like the Wham Bam build system if you wanted to, like a spring steel sheet, and it should work fine.
We also a question about how it's like, should we be using this for automation or vapor? What's the difference?
What's the difference? That's a good question. The difference is that on this formulation, it works with a wider range of materials just because basically the adhesion multiplier, the adhesion ceiling is much higher than the vapor. That comes at a cost of a slightly higher release temperature as well. And so you'll be able to print like really large parts that stay super stuck, and you'll be able to remove them easily, but not so easily that the like gravity assisted removal works like with the vapor. And on the flip side, with the vapor, because it can't reach that level of adhesion, it's incompatible with certain very large models in certain materials. So like if you want a vapor automation system, you have to do a little bit more prep and a little bit more tuning. If you just want a very reliable print bed that you know will stick pretty much every time, that's when you go for something like the PolyLock. So the vapor is very much more geared towards production, and the PolyLock is for those of you who may not be interested in automation and just want like a single print surface where you don't have to apply adhesives. And one of the really one of the things that we're providing along with the vapor print bed is a lifetime guarantee on the performance. So something we're doing like with each bed sold, we're guaranteeing that its performance will not wane as you print on it. Of course, that doesn't include like if you're taking razor blades to the surface or pouring solvents on it. It should function without any of those. And if you use it like that, and if it starts to wane for any reason, we'll send you an exchange. That's like how confident we are in the final formulation for this. So yeah, you could print in the same spot hundreds of times, and you shouldn't be noticing any sort of performance difference. The G-code that you use for that part shouldn't have to change. Yeah, in order to do that. What else do we have going on here? Let's see some more questions. You guys are making a lot of order in under 3 for home. So. Kevin is saying, drink, drink, drink. People asking about sizes. We've launched with 14 different sizes, and it is likely possible that the sizes we do have will fit other printers that aren't listed. So make sure to go through that, through all the different sizes. We've got everything from, I think, a 16.5 centimeter bed that is for the, that's under Prusa Mini. I don't know what printer that's for. I know there's a 165 millimeter square bed is the smallest, and then I think the largest one we're offering is the 350 millimeter square bed. Yeah. So
might be good to go over again what the like when the discount ends. And
yeah. So the discount, so there's a stream discount, 10% off for the pre-sale, and the reason we're doing a pre-sale is because we're still, finalizing production and putting everything together, similar to, the DIY kits. We did the pre-sale on those, and then finalized everything and started shipping. We'll be doing that with the PolyLock beds as well. So, but this pre-sale is a little bit longer. It'll be 4 to 6 weeks, or sorry, 6 to 8 weeks. Depending on how things go, it may be earlier. Like our DIY was much earlier than we expected. And the stream has a 10% off discount and free shipping to Canada and the US on orders over $50. And that ends tomorrow at noon. And then we do have the referral program where if you refer someone, they'll get 15% off, so an additional 5%. And you'll get $10 in-store credit, and that can be used for either PolyLock print surfaces or even the Quinleys that we offer as well.
Jack wants 1,000 by 1,000.
I'm actually looking at beds of that size, so definitely. I mean, Jack of all people would be the one to know first. So yeah, but we are looking at large beds.
With like a real, actual, thinking about it.
Yeah, thinking about it.
Cool.
100% maybe.
Typical answer.
What's the biggest that we can do? Right now, the biggest we're kind of confident with is the 35. Well, the biggest one we're offering as stock is the 35 by 35 centimeter ones. But if you have a use for larger print beds or sizes that are not listed, definitely contact us because we can look into doing custom options as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's mainly, we just wanted to put up the most common printer sizes and then get a sense of what people are ordering and where. One of the things when we close the pre-sale is actually, depending on the popularity of some of the sizes, some of them may not be available again as well.
So you might want to like check it out if you have a weird size and you want to get yours now
If you have a
because it
weird
might not
printer.
come back. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, we just put out all these sizes and want to see like what ends up being most popular.
Okay.
Yeah. So requests for large beds, definitely submit them to us because that is an area we're looking at. Yeah, I think we're doing some costing stuff regarding those. So we'll have to quote you directly.
Jack's saying as high as he can go is $5.
$5?
$5 whole dollars?
That's yeah, you could probably get about 100 of those, 100 1 meter by 1 meter print beds for $5. Yeah, but we'll definitely look at like special order for large format printers because this is we still need to do some testing. Actually, we have a large format printer coming soon for testing purposes. And we want to do testing on like really big beds.
That'd be cool.
To see, yeah, because adhesion on large format and combating warping is like a huge problem. Yeah, just having talked to some of the people who've designed like the Colossus, which is like almost 2 meters long, or I think at a trade show I talked to the guys who did the big rep as well. Like adhesion and combating warping, especially with like thick layer lines, is a really big challenge.
That's insane.
Yeah, and I think the PolyLock surface will be pretty good for that, especially because the parts can actually come off. Except for this one TPU, we have to figure out what's going on with this.
I feel like it was just really close to the bed. Like
I do see it is like literally ingrained in the bed at the front.
Yeah.
So we might have to
like
experiment with that.
Tipped bit, or like slightly
not
too
leveled
high.
correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, the G code for 8 different materials as 8 individual prints is pretty complex, so I don't blame like. Also, the bed temperature must have been varying throughout the test, right?
It was going from 110 down to 80.
Okay, well that's probably why it was not level, because it would definitely move at that range.
Yeah, so I guess the point is we used the exact same G code on all 4 beds.
Yeah.
And so those temperatures work great for glass, cause prints to remain stuck to the bed even when cooling down. We use the same temperatures for PolyLock, although it just seems from testing that PolyLock doesn't need nearly as high temperatures as most other print
Yeah.
beds. So we can probably, we'll do some more testing with these materials over the next few weeks, and when we
Yeah, we'll be posting
launch.
follow-up videos. Yeah,
we'll have like tutorials and stuff.
recommended settings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What happens if the bed is damaged from the incorrect bed temp material?
Oh, yeah.
So the bed itself is actually quite heat resistant. You can drive a nozzle into it at about 250 C, and it will leave a slight mark, but it's not going to melt like PEI or the polycarbonate bed. So it should be pretty minimal. The worst that you can do is, and the way we're planning to package and set up the tutorials, we'll do everything in our power to help you avoid this happening. But the worst thing that can happen to the bed is scraping it too much with the nozzle. Like if you print an entire first layer, which will destroy pretty much any print surface. So we'll be providing, similar to the Quinleys, we'll have tutorials on like how to avoid damaging the bed. Because as long as the bed is being, taken care of, and not in a maintenance sort of way, but rather like your printer is calibrated and you're not printing, -2 millimeters under the print surface kind of way, like it will last. Well, it's got a lifetime manufacturer guarantee on it, so we'll be honoring that. The performance will stay reliable and consistent, so that you don't have to worry about that when it comes to your G code.
It'd be good just to say, if you haven't liked the video yet, give it a like.
I think
If you're
people,
not subscribed, give it a sub.
yeah, we should. If we get to 30 likes, I'll explain the beautiful wound I have on my face.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be our incentive for today.
I'm surprised. I mean, I didn't see any comments about it. Maybe there were.
Maybe there's some
they
mean
asked about
comments.
the real graph.
Oh, okay. I see.
Oh.
I see.
Steven, you're giving hints.
He literally said in the comments. It's not a hint. He just asked.
Well, now you gave them a
Yeah, now you gave them a hint. They might have not noticed.
You should have said. You should have said.
I don't think it's that noticeable.
No, I didn't even.
It's not that noticeable. What are you
I think it's
talking
definitely
about?
more noticeable in person, though. But...
Yeah, also, my bad side is facing the camera
yeah,
right
it's
now.
not ideal.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about cosplaying. If anyone's seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, cosplaying Zuko.
Oh, that would actually work really
Yeah,
well.
because I could go like
You have the long hair.
the top
Yeah, there
ponytail.
we go.
It could work.
You have an elastic. You can do it right now.
Oh, no. That's 50 likes. If we get 50 likes, I'll do that.
That's fair.
Um,
I'm really hoping for it now.
we should talk about, let's see. Did we talk about we talked about the referral program. So this referral program will actually, it's good because it's an extra 5% over the stream discount, and that we're planning to continue after the stream as well. So definitely share it around with your friends, because for every person that you refer, you basically get a flat $10 credit.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, and the whole point of that is just getting it out there, seeing what sizes are popular, and then further refining for post pre-sale, what beds are people asking for basically, and what sizes. Also make sure, like Steven said, make sure to subscribe, because we plan to put out a whole bunch more content on like tutorials for how to print with this, tutorials for different materials, and probably just more showcases. Like one thing I really want to do is a big polypropylene part, because big and polypropylene like don't often work.
Those never work.
Those never work together, and you often need like a enclosure even sometimes to prevent the warping. So I want to showcase stuff like that, And that'll probably go either on our Instagram or the YouTube or some combination of both.
Yeah.
So yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the Instagram account. Yeah,
Also lets you know when new stuff is coming out.
yes. When more products or more sizes, that's also another thing. If we get a huge bunch of requests, oh my God, Sanford, cruel.
Yeah, didn't you know Mateo sleeps on his product?
Yeah, actually that's what happened.
That's just how hard he works. He just
I
stays
slept
at
on
the
the
office.
PolyLock. Yeah,
Wrong kind of bed.
wrong kind of bed. Wrong. Yeah. I slept on a PolyLock while it was warm, and suddenly woke up, and the adhesion was too strong.
You could feel the part removal firsthand.
Yeah, that's actually how we test every bed. I sleep on it for a couple hours every night. Okay, let's see. Oh, Kevin posted his referral link, but it got deleted from chat by the bot. Oh no. Kevin, post it in the Discord if you haven't already. Should we maybe walk through how that's set up?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You want to?
Yeah, let's do it.
I move this away.
Yeah, get that printer out of here.
Yeah. It's blocking my view.
Okay, I'll explain our referral program because it's actually really cool. And I'm excited for this. And I think it applies outside of PolyLock products too. So this is just,
I'd assume so.
yeah, it does. So it's like a launch of new thing
I knew this
altogether.
was gonna.
What?
I knew that you were gonna have to make a scene
Oh,
in the middle of it.
make a scene like in
Well,
real life,
No,
or
not in real life.
make a scene in our stream
Yeah. There we go. That still
browser.
works, so.
Okay, let's go. Okay, we got Chrome. And then we probably want to add ourselves onto here so you guys can see us staring at the computer.
Exactly.
That's this one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be. Cool.
Okay, we're down
There it
there. Boom.
Beautiful.
Let's add this. Oh, whoops. In the meantime, post your printer sizes
And the chat.
in the chat. Like yeah, and we'll go through the ones that are available on the store. And then we can also, yeah, if there are any uncommon printer sizes, we can go and discuss those because it is a pre-sale, there's still options to add products and add sizes, especially if there's a highly requested size.
Yeah, Media Man's asking for the Ender 5 Plus. It's 375 by 370. Slightly bigger.
Then the 350 by 350.
Yeah.
Is that the print volume or is that the physical bed size?
His flex plate is that dimension.
Okay, the flex plate, so the bed would have to be. Okay, so this is the referral program.
That looks so clean. I haven't seen this
You can
before.
thank Olivia and for
Very
this
nice.
and Steph.
Shout out to Olivia and Steph.
Yeah, basically, or if someone uses your referral code when you make your account, you earn coins with a Q, and then you can redeem them directly for a discount. And for every like referral that goes through, you'll get 1,000 coins, which is $10 off of any future purchase. So pretty good deal, I would say, because your friend also gets 15% off, which can be quite a lot depending on what they're ordering. Yeah, and so we've got the PolyLock down here, and you'll see we've organized them into separate collections. And so you'll see the different brands. I'll probably make these smaller. But but like let's say you want for lull spot, you can kind of pick from the lull spot mini 2, and then the size up for the TAS, all the different variations of the TAS because they all use the same print bed. And the thing is as well, like these sizes, like 300 by 300 may work for other printers as well. So it's not like specifically for Lullspot, but that's just how we've organized it. Yeah, and then every single print bed comes with the guarantee. So if for some reason its performance changes or is not as good over time, send it back and we'll send you a replacement. That way you don't have to worry about buying different consumables for different materials. You don't have to worry about having replacement beds on hand either. The point of the program is that when you get a PolyLock bed, like it says in the title, it's the last bed you should ever need. So even replacement in case of defect is covered. And that way, yeah, you can focus less on the first layer and more on the rest of the model.
That's
you don't
fair.
Yeah. I know I've had to make compromises sometimes just to get first layers to stick on like glass.
Yeah.
Definitely not super fun. Okay, let's see what people said about the different bed sizes. Flip coins. Flip. Oh, I gotta scroll back really far. Media Man said his flex pay. Okay, we saw this. Jack really wants that 100 by 100.
Very discreet.
We'll probably have to just make you a special 100 by 100 one, Jack. I think that's the only way to do it.
Flipsaw wants one too.
Of course, he's got the Easy 3 as well. Okay, we'll have to make a few.
They're gonna make a farm out of them.
Can the beds be cut? That's actually a really good question. They're 1 millimeter thick. They can be cut to size, but it's somewhat difficult. Like you would have to cut it with either like a saw or what's it called?
Like a press brake?
Like a bandsaw. I think a press brake would shatter it.
Could be.
It's too hard. Like we cut them with a saw, so you'd be able to cut it down. Can I trade a new unopened package? Nanopolymer adhesive. No, we have no use for that. Cool. Well, that was a PolyLock bed, and those were our tests. Yeah, definitely keep an eye out on our channel as we start doing kind of tutorials for the different materials for the PolyLock bed so that you're able to yeah, basically start right out the gate with good settings. And we'll do like recommended you know, temperature settings and such.
Yeah.
The pre-sale ends tomorrow. Or sorry, not the pre-sale. The stream sale ends tomorrow at noon PST because many of our European friends are not awake at this time.
Yeah.
And so we want to extend the 10% off to them. And then, of course, with the referral program, your friend will get 15% off and you'll get $10 return. So don't forget about that as well if you know anyone who might be interested. Yeah, other than that, stay tuned for next week. It will also be PolyLock related content.
Cool.
And yeah, if you want to see more, we'll probably be, actually, I'm not sure exactly what we'll be showcasing, but probably another demo.
That's fair.
And yeah, so stay tuned to that because, oh, actually, I do remember. That one's going to be very exciting, but I can't say. But
I don't
it'll
even
be
know what we're talking about, but it sounds exciting.
Yeah, it'll be a good demo. Yeah. Yeah, because we're planning to do some show off some top secret features.
I
think.
see.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Cool. Yeah, so please join us next time for that demo. And yeah, I guess we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Stay tuned. Join our Discord too. You'll be able to kind of more than the weekly updates. Like all of our staff are posting stuff in there all the time. Awesome. Well,
thanks, guys.
yeah.
Thanks
Thank
for
you all for
watching.
joining us.
Hope you guys have a good night or whatever time it is there.
Probably night for most
I
people.
hope so.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.
We'll see you next week.